Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kirsty. Welcome back to my channel. It's so great to see you guys again. So as you guys may have noticed, I have some red cornrows and I have some black cornrows in my hair. Today I'm doing knotless cornrows in my hair, which means my braid starts with my real hair and then you will gradually see it get thicker and bigger because I'm adding hair in as I braid. As usual, I'm using Rastafri Freedom Silky Braid in color 1B. Right here, I'm just taking out my previous braids. Now, the backstory behind this was that I was playing around in my hair after looking at some braid styles on Instagram, and I said, oh my god, I'm gonna try to do that. And after I did the braid on myself one time, it looked so good, I thought, dang it, why didn't I record that? So I did it again the second time just to see if it was a fluke, and it wasn't. It looked great. So I said, okay, third time's a charm, I'm gonna record it and it's gonna work out. And thankfully it did. So that's what you guys are about to view. So the first thing that you want to do, as always, when you're doing your cornrows, you want to make sure that your hair is thoroughly detangled. Mine could have been more detangled, but I didn't want to add heat on top of my dirty hair, so I just combed it out with my Denman, made sure that it was really good and clear of any knots. Then once it was detangled, I took my gel and I applied it to the edges along the parting that I'm going to do the cornrow. After you apply your gel, you want to take your brush and you want to just smooth down the sides, pretty much the sides that are going to be, you know, open. And you want to do this because it's going to allow for your braids to look really neat, flat, and smooth and sleek. Next, I am starting off with my real hair. This is the most important thing that you want to do when you're doing knotless. Start off with your real hair, a very little bit of amount, and then you're going to make your first few braid movements. Now for me, my hair is thinner and finer, and I didn't want my hair to slip because that's what always happens. So I made a few more braid movements than I normally would have. I think I made a total of 7 braid movements. And once I got to the 7th one right here, I am getting my first piece of braiding hair as normal, but as you can see, I lost my piece of hair, my real hair, so I had to get it out, separate it, and then slide that braiding hair underneath my pointer finger and thumb. Then I'm taking my pointer finger to make my part and grab that next piece of hair, throw that over, and then you're going to make your next braid movement. Now this is what I did to try to figure out this method, and it worked for me. Now obviously it's not perfect, but it is what worked for me, and to me it looked great. And I thought that, oh my god, I gotta share this with you guys because this is like a moment in my braiding history. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope if you guys have tried knotless braiding techniques, or if your braider has tried, share some of those tips with me, because I think I want to venture out into that, try that a little bit more. I really like the way that it looks really natural, and it lasted, and I got so many compliments over this Thanksgiving break on my hair. Okay, so I've added in my first piece of braiding hair, and now I'm making in my second movement. So it's pretty standard what I do here. I slide the remaining piece under my pointer finger and my thumb. Then I grab the next piece. I'm going to slide one end between pointer finger and thumb, grab my real hair, swoop under with my other pointer finger, grab some of my other real braiding hair, flip that hair over, and then I'm going to grab my real hair again from this point, and then I'm going to make my next movement with my pointer finger. This is what's creating that stitch effect with that pointer finger. Then you're going to slide the remaining piece underneath. Now I'm gonna let you guys know that this is not the only method for feeding in hair. This is just one of the methods that work great for me. Once you've added in that piece, you're going to go ahead and add in your next piece. I found that this allows you to have a fuller cornrow, and not only that, it's gradually getting thicker as you look at the braid. So the trick here is to remember to keep your real hair and the braiding hair separate. You want to make sure things don't look too fuzzy or too messy. I'm adding in another piece right here, slide it in. Use your pointer finger to make that stitch effect, and then you're going to slide that remaining piece underneath, and then just continue on braiding your cornrow. Smooth down any of your hair with your hands. You guys, it's very important to learn how a braid feels. Braiding on your hair is more than just putting in cornrows. It's what I've been learning is that you need to learn how to do this almost with your eyes closed. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to learn where a bump should be, where a bump shouldn't be. You want to learn how to feel for imperfections and for when it's a good braid. So I ask you guys and challenge you guys, if you're going to braid on yourself, try to feel for when you think it doesn't feel right. If you feel it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. As you guys can see, this is in real time. I haven't sped it up. This is in real time. I'm smoothing things down with my fingers. I'm constantly going through, moving hair out the way, because any little hair can make your braid look unneat, or it can make it look not how you want it to look. You know, when I see a style on Instagram, I want it to look neat, but I do have an expectation where I know, like, okay, it's not going to be right there where that braider did it, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good enough to share with you guys. So you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video, enjoyed some of the techniques that I have been sharing. This is just me, you know, braiding, trying things out, feeling. Now, here we go. So one thing to remember, when you're doing cornrows, you want to add that braiding hair all the way throughout your cornrow. This is just to ensure that the thickness is gradually growing. As you can see, I'm using my hands to run through my real braiding hair and the regular braiding hair, just to make sure it's blending in good, because ultimately I want a sleek looking cornrow. It can be messy or it can be more raw and kinky, but I do want it to be a little bit smoother. So as you can see, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull that hair and I'm going to smooth it through with the tips of my fingers, and this is just to ensure that it's going to be really smooth. You're going to see that I'm going to do this a couple times. Now, if you guys have those small braids like I have in mine, you want to make sure you do not forget to add it into your cornrow. Otherwise, you're going to be left with a little teeny braid hanging out, and that has happened to me before, and I've had to remove my entire braid just to add that little piece back in. Now, you probably could have crocheted it in, but I don't think it would be the best looking effort that you could make. So once you're done, you're going to go ahead and switch your hand positions about here, and you're going to start braiding your cornrow all the way down. Now, this is the part where I tell you guys, have your rat tail comb handy, have your gel handy, so that way you could tuck your real hair into that braiding hair. Granted, I am using black braiding hair, but if you are using white, pink, red, purple, green, or brown, or just any braiding hair, you want to make sure that none of your real hair is sticking out. It doesn't always look good. So use a rat tail comb, tuck that hair in, and make it look smooth as you can. This is also in real time. You guys can see this is how this is about the pace that I'm braiding. I stop maybe every 2 to 3 movements because my hair does tend to get tangled because I don't put my hand, you know, all the way through down. When I do that braid movement right here, see that I just did right there where I ran my fingers through. I don't always do that, and my hair gets tangled, and then I have to stop and untangle it. But it's looking really good. I don't see any hairs out of place, and I'm just going to continue braiding down. So guys, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to add some hair jewelry to this cornrows that I've done. I'm gonna lay my edges down with some gel, and I'm going to dip the ends of my braids just to make sure that they don't unravel and to make sure that they are extra flexible, because I might wear this in a bun. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving holiday, and I hope you guys all had a great time with your family. This is the final result. I love the way that it looks. I'm gonna give you a side-by-side right here of how the red cornrows looked and how these cornrows looked, just so that way you guys can see the difference and the methods that I use to start the cornrows. So here we go. Okay, so here you see no knots, just my hair. But here you can clearly see the knots at the beginning of the cornrow. This is the biggest difference between these braids. Everybody has their own methods of achieving cornrows. I love the way that this method looks. I don't know who created it, who started it, but I'm definitely gonna continue it and try it on my hair for my future feed-in braids. But until next time, you guys stay channeling the beauty that's within inside of you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when I have another style, okay? Thank you guys for all of the love that you've given me on the red braids and these black braids. You guys don't forget to comment down below if you guys have any styles you want me to try. I love the way these turned out, and I might start doing some more natural colors on my hair. I love the way that it looks. Alright guys, I'm out. Bye.